after 10 years, kumusta na si Bea Rose Santiago? Bea, how are you?
I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I'm alive. I'm surviving. So it's all beautiful.
10 years later, yung bang yung announcement of your name, kinoronahan ka, do you still replay that in your head?
It was such a beautiful moment and one of my most grateful moments in my life.
Itong hindi problem, kailan nagmanifest at saka paano mo nalaman na may problema? ...2013 was a pretty bad year for the Philippines. Dumating ang bagyong Yolanda o Haiyan, and the entire nation was devastated. Buti na lang, shortly after ay nakakita tayo ng liwanag dahil sa ating bayanihan at nakadagdag pa dyan ang pagkapanalo na naman ng isang Pinay sa Miss International. But before we proceed any further, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, PH Time, and press the notification button for further updates. And now we have with us the beautiful lady who brought hope and joy to suffering Filipinos following a devastating typhoon. This happened again in 2013, so after 10 years, kumusta na si Bea Rose Santiago? Bea, how are you?
I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I'm alive. I'm surviving. So it's all beautiful.
More importantly, more beautiful. Alam mo, gusto ko lang sabihin na, kung ngayong kasasali na Miss International, uwian agad sila.
Wow.
Tapos ng love.
Wow.
Lalo na.
Oh my God, thank you.
Ito. Make us aware about your childhood muna.
Oh, wow.
I
Go back to the roots.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people might not know this, but I didn't grow up in Canada. I grew up in a small town called Katayngan in Masbate City. It's a very small town, small population. I know everyone. Everybody knows each other. My lolo was the town doctor, and siya yung nagpanganak ng 3 generations of, mga children sa probinsya namin, sa town namin. So, ganun kaliit, ganun ka-tight, ganun ka. Parang everybody is pamilya sa isa't isa. So that's how I was raised until I moved to Canada to be with my mom, along with my siblings.
Pero like in lolo mo ang nag-deliver sa'yo?
Unfortunately, no. Sa Manila ako na naipanganak. My mom and my dad decided na after they got married. It took them kasi long time to have me. Mga 4 years bago ako na labas. And siguro during that time in the 80s, di ba, parang pagpakasal ninyo, kailangan may anak agad, kompleto agad na family. So, they had 4 years to wait for me. So, parang they wanted to have their own, parang as a new family. So, within 5 years, umuwi sila sa probinsya, doon ako lumaki. And then mas dumami na kami magkakapatid. I'm the eldest, I have a youngest brother, and then middle namin is my sister, Trisha.
Ang Masbate, di ba, is it more Bisaya o parang, di ba, mas Bisaya na ang lingwahe doon, di ba?
It's really a mix because it is the center of Iloilo, may Samar. So I understand Ilonggo. I used to speak fluent Ilonggo when I was in the city kasi I used to live in the city of Masbate. So more Ilonggo kami. And then when I transferred to my lolas, Bisaya kasi my lola from Cebu. Mm-hmm. So yung Bisaya ko more pong Cebu hanggang sa parang may halong Waray at saka syempre may Bicol. So, parang halo-halo, but mostly my dialect is Masbateño. Meron kami ring sarili na siguro if I talk, maraming makaka-understand kasi ma-understand siya ng Waray, ma-understand siya ng Ilonggo, pati ng mga Bisaya.
Anong pinagkaabalahan mo nung nasa Masbate ka sa child?
My lolo kasi wanted to be a farmer before he became a doctor. Yun talaga yung frustration niya, frustrated farmer siya. So, ako, I adore my lolo. My lolo was really a huge role model sa buhay ko growing up. So I would go with him. I know how to take care of pansabong na mga manok. Yes, I know how to handle Because maliit nga yung kamay ko. Ako yung
Marunong ka magtapon.
taga-timbang. Oo, marunong. I used to know how to taya. Ajis.
No, yes.
I used to do that. And then, may baboy po ako before. I tried, when I was 9 years old, my mom's gift was for me to purchase 3 baboys as my first initial business. So, nag-business ako ng poultry. Unfortunately, hindi lumago kasi nga hindi din ako marunong. But it was such a colorful, very beautiful childhood na I wouldn't change anything. But I also am a frustrated farmer kasi.
So pinilit mo magtanim sa Masbate?
Yes, my lola naman is very hands-on when it comes to tree planting. So, apparently sa probinsya or old school, hindi pwedeng may certain age bago ka mag-start magtanim. Kasi your pamahiin parang you become one with the tree that you planted at a certain age. So after no na-pass na namin yung parang age na yon, nag-start na kami mag-plant ng mga mangga, ng pomelos. Marami kaming mga trees that are fruit-bearing trees sa lugar namin. Yun naman ang very, very fortunate and privileged that my lola was very hands-on sa I guess, sa pagpalaki sa amin. Na-involve kami sa nature. May green thumb ako because of my lola, unfortunately. Sa Monticello ko po, diba? Ang laki.
Oo, diba? Pero hindi ako sa likod. Hindi ko naman bahay ito eh. Hindi ko naman ako sa kanya. Pero sa
Ako sino bahay na yan, hingi ako ng
Ay, oo. Umuwi ka dito. All the plants you want.
Yes.
Okay, but as a teenager, you went to Canada. I mean, paano, di ba, yung migration process, yun, di ba usually may isang Pilipino na nagdadala sa buong angkan, either America or sa Canada?
Yes, it was my mom for us. We went there, nauna si mom. Unfortunately, natagalan because I think for when it comes to DSWD and broken marriages, if you filed as a family as a whole with the whole members of your family, pag once nawalan ng isa, you have to refile. So that's what happened. So matagal kami nakapasok. I turned 16 na sa Canada. Kasi after 18, hindi ka na pwedeng madala pag hindi ka na minor, hindi ka na madala ng parent mo. So fortunately, 16, I turned 16 sa Canada. Nadala ko ng mom ko.
So your dad naiwan sa Pilipinas?
Yes. I think he was in Japan during that time. But yung move namin to Canada was really because my lola passed and she was our guardian. So when my lola passed, within 3 months, we moved na to Canada.
Which part of Canada?
At that time, we were in Scarborough, Ontario, kung saan really majority ng mga new immigrants during that time, na maraming sa Scarborough.
And right now, which part of Canada are you in?
I'm still in Ontario, but I'm in Vaughan now. Medyo bundukin na siya. Ang tawag namin Vaughan-Dock. Kasi up north na siya ng Toronto.
16 naman, madali pa mag-adjust. No? Pero what were the difficulties as an immigrant in a foreign country?
My difficulties would probably be yung first naming initial home kasi was very commonly very white neighborhood siya. So nahirapan ako mag-adjust with the language. Although I speak it naman sa probinsya, yung confidence mo as a child, moving from small town to a very very different culture where everybody they know each other, parang yun ang culture shock ko. But nothing else naman. I'm just very fortunate na I have a sister that I was with. And my sister and I were always together naman kahit saan mga school. So it also made me feel comfortable na I have someone with me na kasabay ko sa kung anumang journey. And then we moved to closer to the city, which was Toronto. And maraming Pilipino, grabe.
Yung napuntahan mo, was it the English-speaking side?
Opo, medyo north siya dati ng Toronto. That's where we moved kasi parang mas easier daw yung transition kasi lumipat kami dyan February. Yung school time during that time was ongoing. Hindi kami makapasok sa Toronto division ng parang school board. Mahirap. So doon kami sa medyo mas mataas, which was parang new developing community din. So kami yung mga very first Asians na lumipat doon sa city na yon. And predominantly very white. the community. And hindi naman sila racist. I didn't feel any racism, nothing like that. It was more of like cliquey. So sila, friends na sila since elementary. And then me as a newcomer, mahirap makapag-friends, especially wala ka pang confidence to speak the language and I couldn't even look at their eyes kasi sobrang hiyain ako. It was hard few months.
Yun namang from there, I understand na you became a model in Canada?
Opo. I got scouted when we were walking sa mall. And then my mom, without my knowledge, pinadala niya yung mga MySpace Friendster photos ko, yung mga pang old selfies na mga paside hair. Pinadala niya sa Ford models here in Canada. And after a week, nag-interview kami and I got signed. I was like, oh my God, signed ako at age of 17, 16. It was parang from a small town shy girl to becoming a model. It was beyond, hindi ko in-expect ever. Hanggang sa nawala na yung contract ko because I was with Binibini na and then I had to sign a contract na only Binibini lang ako may contract.
Ang pagpunta mo ba sa Pilipinas, may kinalaman sa pageant?
Yes. I was in the middle of my career here. I had a boyfriend, I have a set of friends. Dito talaga ako gustong mag-grow old and to develop my world, I guess. But when I tried Mutya ng Pilipinas the very first time, I saw a different world. Meron palang camp how to train to be a beauty queen. There's a way to smile. There's a way to sit down, to wave, to a whole new persona na pwede mong gawin on stage and become a beauty queen. And I love that. Na parang wow, it's like acting.
So in other words, iba ang beauty queen sa model.
Ay, ibang-iba po. Yes, ibang-iba po.
Although parang naglalakad.
Iba din yung paglakad, iba yung personality sa stage, iba. Basically, when I was a model, I was representing the brand. I'm a extension of the designer. I'm there to show off the designer's vision. Yung passion ng designer, yung theme ng, kumbaga, season of what the designer aspired to show to ang art niya. As a beauty queen, my whole thing is really, you're a brand. Bea Rose Santiago as a beauty queen is a whole different brand, which is me naman.
You sell yourself.
Yes, it's basically you and the country you're presented. Kasi while I was competing for Binibini, I was Miss Masbate. So I was carrying the Masbate sash. I was not me, I was Miss Masbate. And then when I competed for Miss International, I wasn't Bea Santiago. I was also Miss Philippines. So I'm carrying with me a lot of Filipinas and different kinds of Filipinas and different kinds of our culture and background. And when I won, I have to develop again me as a beauty queen and what I represent now that I have gained the attention.
Okay, you became Binibining Pilipinas International. Kayo ba pag sumasali sa Binibining Pilipinas, you make sure para ang target nyo talaga lagi, kailangan makuha yung Miss Universe or any crown will do?
That was the goal. Kasi ako, yung goal ko talaga was to be like Venus Ra. Kasi Venus Ra is from Bicol and coming from a humble beginnings. So I felt like, Venus Ra did it. I can do it because if she can do it, I can do it. A small town girl can also do it too. So I thought, Miss Universe was the biggest platform. I didn't realize that in Binibini, it's a lot more than just Miss Universe. It's deeper. Binibini Pilipinas have such a whole lot of not just the responsibility after you win, it's more of the women that won Binibining Pilipinas, they have their own type of I don't know how to explain it. It's like an invisible crown that they carry with them.
So nung napunta sa international, hindi ka naman dismayado na you didn't get to Miss Universe, you went to Miss International?
Oh no. Actually, it was so funny because when I was competing, many of my mentors, many of my mother hens told me. They would just look at me and then bigla na lang sabihin, alam mo, Miss International ka. I was like, no! I want to be Miss Universe. Kasi at that time, hindi pa ako sanay sa social media. They were always saying na, ay, masyado siyang, hindi yan Pinay. Ano yan? foreigner, Canadian, hindi marunong mag-Tagalog. So I wanted, I guess, napunta din sa brain ko na natamaan din ako sa mga sinasabi nila hindi ako Pinay. Na gusto ko mag-represent sa Philippines as Miss Universe. Kasi pag Miss Universe, usually Pinay na Pinay yung pinapadala.
Although, ang dalawang nanalo, sa Kamakatano Bursback at saka Gray, ang apelyido. Ikaw nga, Santiago.
Ngayon, that's the trend. But before kasi, I guess in the early 2000s to 2013, it was Pinay Beauty. Before I was called out for Bini Bini, which was such a momentum until now, I still remember it from like every details. I was praying kasi natakot ako, tinawag na Mutya Datul, Bea Rose si Cindy. So I was like, oh my God, these are like beautiful girls. Natakot na ako na parang, oh my God, hindi pa ako natawag. Tapos nag-pray ako, sabi ko, Lord, kahit Miss International, I'm very happy. And then biglang tinawag name ko. So I was like, thank you.
20, Bea Rose Santiago, Binibining Pilipinas International 2013.
Pero nung dumating ka ba sa Japan noon, ano para bang, anyway, tapos na naman, no? Para bang you were confident na, oops, malakas na laban?
Pagdating ko po doon kasi parang late ako.
Ba't ka na late?
Late ako ng 2 days.
Bakit?
Andun na lahat ng girls. Ako lang yung iniintay. And it was a little bit intimidating because syempre nanalo si Megan, nanalo si Mutya Datul. And then that was the last pageant of the year.
Yeah. Bakit ka na late?
Like nanalo ako ng singing bee. Nag-grand champion ako sa singing bee, ang nakatalo lang sa akin, which I think tama lang talaga nanalo siya. Kasi kailangan ko na talagang umalis. It was KZ Tandingan back when she just won her yung competition niya. And that time, parang siya nakatalo. Talagang nanganga ako the whole time. From the beginning of the contest until the end sa Grand Championship, KZ took it all. I was like, thank you, girl.
At what point of the Miss International contest did you realize na panalo ko?
I think halfway nung kumalma na ako. Kasi before po, umiiyak talaga ako everyday. Kasi hindi ko in-expect na everyone was so nice. Sanay ako sa binibini na kainan ng, paaurahan, pataasan ng energy, you can feel everyone's presence. So, I'm used to that. And then when I went to Miss International, it was opposite. Everybody was Miss Friendship. And then yung naging best friend ko during Miss International, maging taapat kami na mag-roommates na super close, we'd sit each other, we're in the same group, naging best friends kami the whole pageant time. Kami yung nag-top 3.
Ito?
Si Miss Netherlands and also Miss New Zealand. So we became best friends, kaming tatlo. And then we have pictures everywhere, only to find out na kami yung top 3.
Oh!
Miss Philippines! Congratulations to Miss Philippines!
Omedetou gozaimasu. 各国を代表して集まってくださったミスの皆様。
10 years later, yung bang yung announcement of your name, kinoronahan ka, do you still replay that in your head?
Of course. It was such a beautiful moment and one of my most grateful moments in my life. Na it still plays in my head. Na I couldn't believe it was reality. Because whenever I would close my eyes, I still remember all the confetti coming to me. Pag-announce sila ng Miss Philippines! And biglang confetti and everyone's like, lahat ng Pinays na pinagsabihan ko. Kasi I told my mom, lahat ng Pinoy na makita mo, please tell them be quiet kasi sinabihan ako bawal. Ayaw nila ng maingay.
Ano ba exactly ang duties pag nanalo ka ng Miss International? Ano ba ginagawa ng Miss International?
Actually, not a lot of people know this, but yung headquarters po kasi ng UN nasa Japan. Yung main headquarters na nasa Asia, nasa Japan, actually is in Tokyo. So, nung nanalo kami sa Miss International, we actually got 5 million and we donated it to UN.
Wait, 5 million, you won 5 million?
No, you donated. Miss International donated
Donated.
5 million to UN.
Wow, $5 million dollars or?
I think it was in yen.
Tapos, after you won, ano man ang nagbago sa buhay mo?
Marami. Changed my world. It's not just me. It's not just my family na nagkaroon na, I guess, pride. My whole Masbate, my whole Katayngan, the people that I grew up with, even dito sa Canada, the people, my classmates, you know, it not only, I feel like it didn't just change my life, it changed everyone. Na parang if Bea could push herself and leave her comfort, you know, her life, my life here in Canada, and I guess gamble and try something so extraordinary and unbelievable.
Pagka ba naging Miss International ka, mas talagang siyempre may premyo. So, yayaman ka ba considerably pag ito?
Miss International, half kasi siya. So parang that time, yung bigay sa akin for winning Miss International was I think 1 million peso. And parang half yun eh. But you don't understand, yung tax ng Japan is half.
Oh, wow.
So, yung nauwi ko ata 1 million. First half of that is when you win. And then first half of that is after when you win. And on top of that, na-half pa siya because of the tax.
Dapat humingi ka pa rin pala ng balato kay Casey Landingan.
Yes.
As a beauty queen, especially an international beauty queen, ano ba mga drawbacks kasama din siyempre yung kailangan lagi kang makabihes, I can imagine. May indecent proposals, tapos meron pa laging bashers. Ano ba ang alin doon ang talagang ang nahirapan ka?
Yung pinakamahirap na moment, I think the highlight for me was really when I created my speech. I have written a speech that was dedicated to my mom, and you know, being a single mom and being a working mom, I wanted to emphasize on that. But then when I visited Capiz after the typhoon, I couldn't go to where the most devastated areas were by Yolanda. Nakapunta kami sa Capiz, which was one of the biggest devastated areas there. It's just that they didn't have people that passed. They didn't have casualties. When we arrived there, you could feel it in the air. Nakita mo yung nawalan na sila yung mawalan ng spirit, mawalan ng hope. You can see it in their eyes. Na they're just walking zombies. They went through something traumatic. We saw it, we felt it right when we landed. Dilim na dilim yung paligid. Walang greens. Puro lang brown stem. And then walang branches. Naiyak ako even thinking about that because it was such a memorable moment para sa akin. And I don't know, I think to Pia and to Ariela who was there with me too. How can these random people care to the point na wala na silang pakialam sa surrounding? Yung moment na nakita ko yung mga taong tumutulong, it was life-changing.
Yeah. Okay, so itong kidney problem, kailan nagmanifest at saka paano mo nalaman na may problema?
I had IgA nephropathy po when I was 16 pa lang. Akala ko po kasi allergies. My throat was itchy, my tonsils was always inflamed, my flu. Yung masakit is realization na you're attached to a machine. And then my brother was like, ako na. And then my brother did everything by himself. My own brother pala is the one who's saving me. Siya pala yung bigay ni God. Not only to be my brother, but to be my hero, my human hero. We all cuddled around and we wanted to raise a beautiful boy. You know, our first boy in the family.